Here comes the money! Here we go. Money makes you not talk after signing an NDA. Jokes about Vince McMahon paying more for hush money than he did WCW aside, happy Money in the Bank, everyone! Funny enough, here at Extreme League Wrestling, Money in the Bank is actually one of our favorite stipulations. Who can forget the golden years of this amazing briefcase, whether it be RVD a one-night stand, CM Punk winning it 2 years in a row, or Seth Rollins pulling off the ultimate heist at WrestleMania. But mind you, with any stipulation that's been around as long as Money in the Bank, there have been some amazing highs and some terrible lows. Whether it be the right person winning the briefcase at the right time but then failing to cash in, the wrong person winning the briefcase and winning at the cash in, Money in the Bank still proves to be one of the biggest stipulation matches on the WWE calendar. After one more trip around the sun, we have to ask ourselves again, who should win Money in the Bank this year? Frankly, the field feels as open as it ever has before. So with that being said, let's climb up that ladder, forget how to use our legs, and hop right into it. This is Extreme League Wrestling, and here are our top picks on who should win the men's and women's Money in the Bank. By the way, chances are, if you're watching this video, you're not subscribed, so go ahead, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up to help us out in the YouTube algorithm, and hit that notification bell to make sure you don't miss a single video. Now, with that out of the way, our first pick for who should win the men's Money in the Bank briefcase is Drew McIntyre. No matter the company, the pandemic era of wrestling was difficult for anyone in championship contention. Imagine putting in the years of work on the indies, the amount of hours you have to put into the gym, the amount of money and time you've put into your body to finally reach the pinnacle of winning a company's top prize to only win it in front of very little or no fans at all. The situation of the world was even more heartbreaking when you take into account that Drew McIntyre was WWE champion for a majority of this era. After his release from WWE in 2014, many of us didn't really know if Drew McIntyre, the former Chosen One, would ever really return to WWE. After honing his craft in independent promotions like PWG, WCPW, and Impact Wrestling, once he returned to Titan Towers to rejoin the company, we knew it was just going to be a matter of time before he had his full-on WrestleMania crowning moment. Unfortunately, moving with the tides of the world, this WrestleMania moment would yes be against Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship, but unfortunately in an empty performance center. With a slight speed bump of Randy Orton in the middle of his title reign, McIntyre did not only show that he was worthy of the belt, but showed that he could lead the company no matter the circumstance. And while Drew never got his big WrestleMania pop, I think that there is a small show happening in Cardiff, Wales that just might have his name on it. Imagine the reaction when Drew McIntyre runs down the ramp to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase. That crowd would come unglued. Or instead of a surprise cash in, we could see something done with the briefcase that we haven't seen in quite some time. Harkening back to the days of Rob Van Dam and John Cena, it would be quite entertaining to see Drew McIntyre announce his cash in prior to Clash at the Castle. With the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns taking a leave of absence during the pandemic era, there's layers upon layers of storytelling that could work here with these two men's current characters. And our first pick for the women's Money in the Bank briefcase is Becky Lynch. The women's Money in the Bank briefcase has been in a bit of an odd spot as of late, with most winners of the white briefcase, besides the first one, cashing it in at least 24 hours after winning it. Now is the perfect time to reset the briefcase and use it as a proper storytelling tool. But what am I saying, long-term storytelling? I'm talking about WWE, but hey, a boy can dream. As we are witnessing the post-WrestleMania downfall of Becky Lynch, the Money in the Bank briefcase could add a bit of spice to this story. Imagine months and months and months of Becky Lynch teasing Bianca Belair, teasing her cash-ins, and then finally, right when Becky Lynch thinks that she has Bianca Belair right where she wants her, she loses. The downfall of Becky Lynch is a storyline that I could see playing out until next year's WrestleMania. But there needs to be something else there besides losing to Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. She needs something else to knock her down a peg, something to make big-time Bex just feel a little bit smaller. This loss could push her into two directions, either becoming the new big bad of WWE, or pushing her back into the man, the babyface, and the Becky Lynch that we all know and love. Our next pick to win the women's Money in the Bank ladder match is Liv Morgan. The past year has seen WWE put a lot of stock into the former Riot Squad member. For more TV time to championship matches on pay-per-view, Liv Morgan is definitely held in high regard in the WWE corporate side of things and is seen as the future of the women's division. Which, if you think about it, is the entire point to Money in the Bank. Pushing somebody in the mid-card who is just almost ready to become a main eventer. And with missing some veterans on the women's roster, WWE is in dire need to push somebody into the next main event women's slot. In our opinion, WWE has been really struggling to book their women's division beyond the horsewomen, and with the departure of Sasha and Naomi, now is the time to pull the trigger on naming your next top babyface in the women's division. And if we could put our booker hat on for a second and grab our pencil, we know exactly who she should beat for the title. Once returning from injury, Rhea Ripley should beat Bianca Belair at SummerSlam. Going on a dominant run with, spoiler alert, our last choice in this list, Judgment Day could rule over WWE with an iron fist until WrestleMania comes. Liv Morgan could get the proper Daniel Bryan Kofi Mania push, with Rhea Ripley doing everything in her power to stop her from challenging for her title. At WrestleMania 39 in Los Angeles, we could easily see a rematch between Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. After Rhea Ripley barely ekes out a win over the EST of WWE, we hear Liv Morgan's music hit. As Liv Morgan tries to cash in her Money in the Bank contract, Rhea takes the briefcase from Liv and holds it over her like the monster she is. And then, out of nowhere, Bianca Belair comes in and gives Rhea a KOD. She then picks up the briefcase, hands it to Liv, and just mouths to her, "I got next," and leaves the ring. Liv Morgan then picks up Rhea, hits her with an Oblivion. 1, 2, 3, Liv Morgan is your new Raw Women's Champion. Now, if you ask us, that makes a pretty great WrestleMania moment. And finally, our last choice to win the men's Money in the Bank briefcase, Finn Balor. Poor Finn, we thought going back to NXT would fix you, but yet, here we are. Hot-shotting Finn to be revealed as the new leader of Judgment Day could lead to some interesting story moments. Will WWE do that? To be quite honest, I don't have much faith in them. But a heel Finn Balor winning the Money in the Bank briefcase, along with Rhea Ripley later becoming Raw Women's Champion, could give Judgment Day the reign over Raw. And we here at Extreme League Wrestling love Finn Balor, and we just want to see him succeed. And yes, he has not technically been announced for the match yet, but that obviously hasn't stopped WWE before. Imagine, if you will, we go back to a similar location we just were. Clash at the Castle. Drew McIntyre beats Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. Then, Judgment Day's music hits. Finn Balor successfully cashing in the Money in the Bank briefcase could do a lot for WWE. Judgment Day will have ready-made feuds with people like Edge, Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns. Heck, we can even see them fix the Demon. While yes, Cody Rhodes' injury did put a big damper on WWE's plans moving forward, but this makes a great way to turn your lemons into lemonade while creating new stars in this new stable. It has honestly been a while since we've seen a powerhouse heel stable rule over WWE, and we would be super excited to see Judgment Day reach their full potential. And that is going to do it for us today here at Extreme League Wrestling. Who do you think should win Money in the Bank? Let us know in the comments. Reminder to subscribe, hit that like button, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, and make sure you give us a follow on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. This has been Extreme League Wrestling. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time.